And welcome to another episode of the Living Large Theater Podcast. Billy Santiago, along with my friend of 36 years, Gary Rodriguez, our super producer, Noe Ayala. You can reach out to us on our Gmail account at livinglargetheater@gmail.com. We're available on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Prime, and the iHeart Podcast Network. You can reach out to us if you want to become a sponsor of this fine show. 956-451-1633. That is Noe, our super producer's number. Please, no calls after 9. Rate our podcast, share it with a friend, leave us a comment, and more importantly, hit that subscribe button so you get a notification next time a new one goes up.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Season 4 of the Living Large Theater Podcast.
What episode?
This is episode 3, I believe. We did 2 at White Sands Marina. That was 1 and 2. I want to thank our super producer, Noe Ayala, for keeping us in line and, more importantly, keeping us out there. Noe's the one that loads us up on iHeart, Amazon, Google,
Spotify,
Apple Music. That's all the platforms that Noe loads us up on, and where you can hear us on all the major podcast platforms. Hey, we want to thank our corporate sponsors. That's right. We have a few more in the wings right now, but for right now, we want to thank Texas sportsman Fred Rodriguez.
Gotta have it.
Corporate sponsor, Texas sportsman Fred Rodriguez. You want to go hunting or fishing, look up Texas Sportsman online, get a hold of Fred Rodriguez, and book your fish or book your hunt. Also, corporate sponsor Ward Thomas. You know, Ward sponsorship is more in kind because remember, you guys, we first started doing this a few years ago. We were recording at the McAllen Public Library, and then
on the 16th floor.
Then we went to the 16th floor downtown McAllen, and then Ward said, "Hey, man, you guys can use my studio." And you know, Ward's a great guy, but I didn't picture him having any kind of a sound studio. Then come to find out that he had bought this place, Bobby Pulido's Studios, for all his international recordings and the making the music that Bobby's been doing so well for so long. And Ward bought the place. He opened it up to us, and I don't know, man. I'm gonna see if we can describe it. So first of all, it's a nondescript building at the end of a road, but when you walk in here, you can tell this place
has a lot of personality.
A lot of personality. It's a professional sound studio. The walls are black with the sound-absorbing cushion right there.
Acoustic tile,
yeah. We have a big mixing board behind us. We have microphones, mic stands, chairs, benches.
And a bathroom that is black.
Yes. That's the key thing. And then we have little mixing boards here and all kinds of attenuators and
a couple couches.
All right, a couple of couches. I wasn't going to mention those, but Ward Thomas, man, I'm going to tell you, dude. Thank you for welcoming the Living Large Theater Podcast into Majestic Studios right here, which are courtesy of our benefactor and corporate sponsor in kind, Ward Thomas. Hey, let's talk about some things right now, mostly current events. First of all, I want to let you know, we got to set the record straight. When we started this, it was me and Billy talking. Every now and then, Noe would chime in, but for the most part, I think, unless I'm wrong, Noe, our first 20 shows were just like us three. And then one day, somebody said, "Hey, I'd like to come on your show," and so I believe
who was our first guest?
I think it was Fred Rodriguez.
Fred Rodriguez?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we brought him on. We talked to him, and then after that, you know, things just started falling into line. We had the Channel 5 meteorologist Tim Smith. We had Senator Chuy Hinojosa. We had motocross legend, Supercross legend Steve Wise, and we've just had so many great guests here.
And who was the lady that the physical therapist?
Oh, we had Fabiola Martinez.
Yeah, she told us the Selena story.
That's right. In the middle of talking about, health issues and manipulation of the muscles and the nerves and all that, somehow she comes out with the revelation that her father, a plastic surgeon from Mexico, was actually seeing, dating, having an affair, or whatever was going on with Selena right before she was tragically murdered in Corpus by the Troll. We all know who the Troll is. So.
And we can't forget J.D. Mata.
Oh no, J.D. Mata is a mainstay.
Oh,
here.
we had Bobby too.
Yeah,
Bobby,
we had Bobby Pulido. We had his father Roberto Pulido.
Yeah.
We had Max Decker. That interview was like pulling teeth, but we got through it.
Nano Ramirez.
And
talking about his new book.
Unveiled his book. So the deal is, the reason I want to bring this up is we have a lot of our own stories to tell. Do we want guests here? Absolutely. If it's relevant to you as a listener, if it's entertaining to you as a listener, and if it's something that applies to not just where we are at this moment. I mean, we have listeners. I'll let Noe tell this. Where do we have listeners,
Canada,
Noe?
Mexico, United Kingdom,
Spain?
Spain, Malaysia.
Is that guy in Thailand still listening to us?
Yeah.
Lance?
Yeah, Lance.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, we love our guests, but we also have our own stories to tell around here. And this is sort of an open forum, A lot of times I hear things that something I said, and I say, well, that's good, but guess what? It's my podcast. You have a different perspective. I respect that. I understand that. That's what makes the world go around is having different perspectives and trying to understand each other respectfully and accept that other people aren't always going to agree with you. And to that extent, if you don't, that's good. I get it. But don't hem and haw on me because we have a platform. Get your own podcast, and guess what? I have your super producer right here. We'll loan you Noe, the great Ayala.
There's two things I learned early in life when I was doing college radio. I had a buddy of mine named Bill Waddington who would just show up in the control room all the time, and we would get into arguments about politics, about religion. And neither one of us was wrong. And he always said, he called me Guillermo. He goes, Guillermo, there's two things in life. He was a little older than I was, former Vietnam vet. He was a medic. He goes, you know what, Guillermo, there's two things in life you're not wrong about: politics and religion. Everybody's got one.
Man, that's right, Bill. You hit the nail on the head right there, brother, because not everybody's going to agree, and I don't want to be with somebody who always agrees with me. I kind of like it sometimes, but it's not a real world. You have to have a little yin, and you have to have a little yang.
Is that like itch and scratch?
Yeah, itch and twitch.
Itch and twitch? Okay.
Yeah, itch and twitch. Boy, I tell you what. So one of the things I wanted to touch on today, SpaceX. I don't know.
What's going on, Gary? What's going on? Talk to me. Come on, Gary.
In my mind, I think SpaceX is just one miscalculation away from a tragic accident where one of these rockets they shoot up lands in Brownsville or on the island, the populated area. And, I think that my underlying feelings toward SpaceX is, first, I'm a huge fan of Elon Musk. Probably one of the most intelligent guys alive right now. I think his IQ is somewhere in the 169 to 172 range, which is incredibly high, given that 140 is considered genius.
He's a member of Mensa, too, right?
Yes, that's right. So I have total respect for him, but the thing that I don't gravitate toward is that someday man is going to live on Mars. No, you're not. You're never going to live on Mars, and if you do, it won't be a life worth living because you'll have to be...
But Gary,
yeah.
Did you ever think we would have, in your lifetime, a black president?
What?
I'm just saying. So you say it will never happen.
Yes, I thought we would have a black president, only not a stupid one like Barack Obama.
Did you ever think that the legalization of marijuana in a lot of states would happen in your lifetime?
But not in Texas. Yeah, I thought it would happen sometime because marijuana is, to me, of course, I only speak for myself. I'm not promoting drug use or the gateway drug, which marijuana is considered. But, it was put here by God.
Okay,
obviously.
So why don't you think that a man could live on the moon?
Well, because there will be no Monday Night Football there.
It could be. We got satellites out there now.
I'm talking about there. You're not going to have the Cowboys playing the Redskins on the moon or on Mars. And so, so I'm drifting here.
Okay.
But I like this little back and forth there, Bill. You're right.
Okay.
So, but living on Mars, first of all, the moon, we've already been there. We've never been.
We're talking Mars.
Yeah,
so
we're talking Mars.
It's a little different,
to
different
live
atmosphere.
in a biosphere, which is what you would have to live in on Mars. That's no quality of life. You can't send the kids out to play when you want to get jiggy with the wife. You can't, they're going to
Getting jiggy with the wife.
Yeah,
Getting jiggy with it.
the kids.
You got that song, Noe?
The kids are going to be not just the kids. Your mother-in-law, your sister-in-law. You're all going to be cramped in one little cubicle, and it's not going to be much of a quality of life. So my deal is this: I just wish SpaceX would go somewhere else. They came down here. They ran probably about 1,000 people out of the Boca Chica Holiday Village retirement community, which was a bunch of old farts in mobile homes and lawn chairs. And SpaceX comes in and
did they pay him to move out, or they just told him you have until this deadline to get out?
No, Elon's more fair than that. I think they paid them, but they disrupted their entire golden years. Because where did they go? Nobody knows. Nobody can find them, by the way.
Really?
Nobody can find them. Where are they?
You know what, Gary? I think this comes down to you're still miffed that guy outbidded you for that condo at the island. You're still holding
That's
a grudge.
another thing. Property rates and tax rates. Look, man, you're right, Bill. Just to recap, I was in line to get a one-bedroom condominium on the 6th floor of Gulf View 1, which is one of the older properties on South Padre Island. And I was going to get it from a friend of mine, Danny. I won't mention his last name, but I was going to get it from Danny. And it was going to be $139,000. And this was about 3 years ago in the summer. He says, Gary, I can't sell it until after Labor Day. Now, Labor Day is the holiday in early September. So I waited all summer long, and as Labor Day approached that year, I believe it was 2022 or 2021, I called up Danny. I go, hey, man, Labor Day is coming, man. I'm ready to close the deal on that condo, 139. And he says, "Ay, Gary, I'm so sorry. I forgot to call you."
Get that accent going.
Yeah. And I go, well, what's going on, man? Well, where are we? And he goes, these are his words. I'm sure he meant to use the word Asian, but he goes, a Chinaman that works for SpaceX offered me $250,000 for the condominium, and so I sold it. And I said, you know what, Danny, I get it, dude. As opposed to 139, which I was going to pay for it, you got
were you going to finance or just pay him outright cash?
I was going to finance it, of course.
Okay.
I've got $139,000 in my pocket.
I'm just saying that the Asian guy came in, hey, had $250 cash.
He had cash.
Yeah, boom.
Money talks.
And Toro Poo-Poo walks, man.
So I was going to finance it through my bank, and so I let him off the hook. I told him, Danny, I understand. Most people probably would have done that, and who knows? I probably would have done that too, given the fact that you're getting over 100,000 more than what I was going to give.
We were at the White Sands not too long ago.
White Sands Marina, hopefully soon to be a corporate sponsor. We'll talk with Arnold and Corina when they get back from Barcelona.
And Spain. Anyway, Gary, he was talking about how people who come down and work for SpaceX, they stay at their place. They have
long term.
They have like 12 apartments they rent out for longer terms and stuff like that. Even though, some of the hotel rooms, they rent out to them as well. So, from a business standpoint, he's loving it.
Yeah. And I think from a practical scientific standpoint, SpaceX does have a purpose. It is fulfilling a purpose. We're learning a lot through each failure that they're doing it. The problem is
now, what do you consider a failure?
Well, when they don't hit their goal and their target.
I mean, once the rocket gets up in orbit, and then it explodes, is that?
I think they've had more failures than successes. And again, look, man, I was never a Star Trek guy, Battlestar Galactica.
You didn't watch Star Trek as a kid?
Never watched any of that shit. No.
The Jetsons. You didn't watch the Jetsons?
Yeah, I watched the Jetsons. Yeah.
Okay.
I was more of a Green Hornet, Mannix kind of guy. Partridge Family, Brady Bunch. That was me, man. I'm not afraid to admit it. That was me. I was not into Star Trek or any of that other stuff. So
we're in a Trekkie, huh?
I think what they're trying to do with SpaceX is they're trying to develop a rocket that will go up and then come back down and land. I don't know if they've done that yet.
No. But hey, I was reading a story this morning. There was a guy in Canada, a farmer, that found a piece of a rocket from SpaceX, And he said, I'm a farmer. I'm not a scientist. I'm going to sell this piece of rocket and donate it. Donate the proceeds from it to build a hockey rink in his hometown.
What? How big was it?
I don't know. I didn't see a picture of it. I just heard,
4x4.
I just played some audio back, but I'm sure somebody will pay for it.
Hey,
Pay for what? What is it?
It's a piece of a rocket ship.
Hey,
Who would want that?
You know what? I thought the same thing. How much is that thing worth?
it's just metal, is it? Right?
I don't know. I didn't see a picture of it. I
Who
just
would want
A junk
a
of metal?
piece?
Gary,
Yeah.
you go on eBay and see. There was somebody selling.
A large turd just fell from the
Hey, check it out. There was somebody selling during
But it was
COVID.
Elon's.
There was somebody during COVID selling bottled up fart.
Oh, my.
Oh, that's messed up.
Yeah.
I just got a message from a Rick Garza from Enterprise.
Yeah.
He wants to test your knowledge in music. Any of y'all want to take that challenge? Real quick?
Billy, first of all, Billy's been more involved in the music part of radio than
Come
I
on,
ever
Gary.
was.
Come
But
on,
well,
Gary.
but
Give
I-
yourself some credit, man.
I used to, I listen to radio. We'll go for it.
Let's see.
What are we going, Rick? Come on, Rick.
Remember Rick?
Of
He was
course,
here,
one
he
of
was
our
here.
biggest fans. I mean, he's always here in our studio audience, a mainstay.
All right,
here.
Rick.
He's always messing up my equipment.
So
yeah, that's him.
yeah,
There we go.
Well,
Don't make him too hard, Noe. Okay.
yeah.
you go,
What
here you
is
go.
it, man?
You
Let's
know?
let's
It's
put our little
80s,
thinking
looks
caps
like
on.
80s.
All right. You ready or?
See, I'm not a big '80s guy. I'm a big '70s guy. Okay, don't stop believing. Journey. Tina Turner. Elton John.
Michael Jackson. Bryan Adams.
Oh, Guns N' Roses.
What the hell?
Queen.
That was Queen.
Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston. David Bowie. AC/DC.
Damn, Gary.
Boom. Billy Joel.
Ooh,
George Michael. Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Man, did you hear the story about Bon Jovi? He got vocal cord surgery 2 years ago.
He doesn't sound the same.
Couldn't sing.
Hello, Noe, it's me,
Oh,
Bon
my
Jovi.
God.
He's back. He's back doing interviews now, but he still can't sing
Yeah.
fully. And the same thing happened with Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. They were doing their farewell tour. It started last September. After 3 shows, man, they shut him down because he had larynx issues.
Oh, man.
And they just recently rescheduled all the shows to start in September. So, man, that's
Wow. It's amazing. I saw Steven Tyler and Aerosmith for the very first time at the Texas Jam in the Cotton Bowl in 1978. When I was stationed at Fort Hood, Texas, a bunch of us piled into my friend Chuck Ferrer's truck, and we hauled ass.
What kind
to
of truck was
Dallas.
it, Gary?
He had a Chevy, probably back then, like just a Chevy pickup truck, just the basic Chevy pickup truck.
And it got you from point A to point B, no problem.
Yeah,
right?
man, I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations have run out, but I'm going to tell you something, man. We were at Fort Hood one night. We were out just partying and heading back to the barracks. We ended up somehow on the officers' golf course, and I wasn't driving. Chuck was. It was his truck, and he decided to take a detour to our barracks through the golf course. And I think he left some tracks on the golf course.
Really? Hey,
Yeah.
yeah. What about that thing? I was a military brat for 17 years of my life, and in high school, the majority of my friends were officers' kids.
Yeah.
And there was something about NCOs fraternizing with officers that shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
Well, I just know it's kind of standard practice. You just don't do that because you're at a different level, and you essentially, it's not. I don't know if it's stated or written, but it's implied that if you're an officer, you hang out with other officers, and
Right.
if you're a non-commissioned officer, then you hang out with the NCOs and their families. But I've seen it happen. I've seen where sergeants become real good friends with the captains because ultimately, the captains, the lieutenants, and even to some extent the majors most of their NCO counterparts know more than them about whatever their job is.
When I was in Germany in 6th and 7th grade, good friend of mine on the team, his dad was a colonel. And the coach of our team, the Orioles, was Coach Norby. He was the driver for the colonel.
Okay.
And so we used to have parties at their house all the time. The baseball team. He was kind of like a indirect sponsor, you know. After baseball games and stuff, how they get snacks.
Yeah,
for
the guy
kids
buy all the chips and the drinks.
Yeah, there you go.
The little Capri
man.
Sun bag.
There you go, man. So back in the day, man, you know, a lot of my friends were officers' kids, man. I had a blast with them.
Oh man, I tell you what, I love Germany. I loved the 3 years I was in Germany. I tell you what, it's where I learned how to snow ski. It's where
Did you learn how to shovel snow too? Huh?
Learn how to shovel snow. Learn how to learn how to do a lot of things. But you know,
where were you stationed at when you were
Frankfurt?
Frankfurt. Okay. Did they have? They used to have these man-made ponds where they stock them with fish, and you can go fishing. Did they have that?
No.
In Frankfurt?
No. And if they did, I didn't know.
Any German? German
I'm not a German. Ein große Bier bitte.
Yeah.
Which means one big beer, please.
Oh, okay.
We used to go to the guest house all the time.
Wo ist die Bahnhof, which is where is the train station, and that's about it. You know?
Did you ever?
Where's the restroom?
Donde es baño? Donde es la casa de Pepe? Hey, Noe. So back then, you can go to a bakery and buy these little things filled with cognac, chocolates filled with cognac.
Wow.
And get a little buzz going.
Oh,
man.
nice.
Yeah, we used to go down Germantown all the time. And then there was a guy that they called him Pete. He used to drive his car around the housing area, and he would sell fresh bakery goods, man. I mean, fresh stuff. And he would sell his little.
That's one thing about Germany. They had damn good baked goods over there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of course, there's so many cultures intertwined in the German culture. You got the French. You got the Arabian with their the baklava, very sweet pastry there. You had the Italians, you had the Turks. It's just a big hodgepodge of people there, you know. And
You were there for how long? 18 months?
3 years.
3 years,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Did you live on base, off base?
Off base. I had my own apartment.
Did you?
Yeah, because when I went over there, I had a wife. When I left, I didn't.
The hell happened there? That's another story.
Well, here, I'll tell you what happened. We got there I got there in October '79. She got there a month after me, November '79. She got there the day that the Iranians took the hostages at the embassy in Tehran.
Were you guys on alert?
Oh, for the whole time. And the whole thing lasted 444 days. So we were on alert. Her parents were freaking out. They were back here in the States. And, you know, they eventually convinced her to come back. And she says...
so she left you high and dry, huh?
Well, she said, I'll wait for you. And I said, hold on. At that point, I probably did still have 18 months left to do in Germany. And you know, I was like, that ain't going to work.
Well, you know.
I'm not going to do that. It's okay.
If you leave, well, I can't you make any promises. But
yeah, no. So it's
at least you were honest with yourself, Gary.
Well, yeah, and those long distance things rarely do they work out. I'm not saying they don't, but I've seen where both people thought it was working out, but there was some ulterior
I went to the same thing.
action going on under the carpet.
Mm-hmm.
So. Anyway, I love my time in the Army. I think everybody should do some time in the Army, and that's just my opinion.
My niece's son graduated from high school in Atlanta last weekend. He's going right in the Marines.
Thank you for your service, mijo, and thank you for your service.
And he was junior ROTC in high school. So
there you go. So is he going in as an officer? Or
no, he's gonna go
non-commissioned.
Non-commissioned, and then I told his mom he needs to go to OA. What do they call it? Officer Cadet School.
Yeah.
OCS.
OCS. Yeah.
OCS. You know, and take advantage of that junior ROTC training he got in high school.
Oh yeah. They'll apply that.
Mm-hmm.
They'll apply that. All he needs to do to get in OCS, though, I think he has to have at least 2 years college. And you can get that while you're serving.
There you go.
In the military. Hey man, let's talk about the heat, man. We're in May, and man, we should have brought Tim Smith in here because he could explain it. It seems like there's some dome over South Texas right now because when you look up at the sky, you don't see the sun. You just see like a big haze.
Right.
And the humidity is just
This morning
so
was
oppressive.
humid, but yesterday and the day before was kind of cool. But this morning, I went out and got my 4 miles in, and man, I was working up a sweat this morning.
Yeah.
Aren't they having a hurricane conference over in Corpus or something? This
I
weekend?
think so. So we're
Yeah.
going to bring Tim on pretty soon to talk about hurricane season, which starts June 1st. So we'll get Tim on here to talk about the things you need to do to prepare, not just here, but wherever you are. I mean, they're having hurricanes and the side effects of hurricanes in many places around the world. And,
Tornadoes.
lots of tornadoes. We have the ability to talk to somebody as educated and as experienced as the meteorologist Tim Smith to tell you what you need to do and hopefully how to do it, Okay, now let's shift gears to the college campuses. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I'm going to get my 2 cents in on these little mocoso punks who are hating on Israel because of the war that Hamas started. These individuals have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea what they're protesting about. It's a big bandwagon that I think is reaching the point of the slippery slope and perhaps the point of no return with respect to how we treat, how we view, how we disrespect or respect Jews, not just here in America, but all around the world. It's getting bad. And I have a friend who's Jewish, and sarcastically, he said the other day, he goes, "Hey man, it's a great time to be a Jew around the world." And I said, I'm going to tell you something, man. God will ensure that the Jews prevail.
Jerry Seinfeld was the commencement speaker at Duke University.
Yep.
I watched his YouTube speech. And I guess they edited out the part where when he started, a bunch of them walked out.
Yeah. Well, they say it was a bunch, but I hear it was less than 2 dozen. So,
but still,
24 less.
But you get a chance.
What did they accomplish? Look, if one of you that walked out is listening, let me ask you something. What the hell do you think you accomplish by showing your ass in front of all those people? And Jerry Seinfeld.
Well, they took a stand, but that's you spent 4 years busting your butt to get that education. Walk across the stage, man, get your diploma, and then you can protest after that.
I respect them taking the stand. I really do, because like I said at the beginning, I don't expect everybody to agree with me.
Right.
I enjoy a good debate. I consider myself probably in the 99 percentile of good debaters. I'm just saying, at least know what you're talking about. I saw the little girl where she got her diploma and she ripped it up right there on stage. That is so disrespectful, not only to the school, but to yourself. You disrespect the entire 4 years that you spent in college, and you also disrespected the $200,000 that your parents paid for your college education.
Did she tear it up, or what happened to the diploma after all?
I don't know. She tore it up and left it there on stage.
Is that littering her? Or
Well, I guess she's going to have to apply for another diploma, and I'm sure they'll send it out to her, But I just think that the whole spectacle is meant to draw attention to people in college who have never accomplished anything other than making it to school and probably cheating on most of their tests. And then
Oh, come on, Gary.
I'm serious. I was in college. I saw the amount of cheating that goes on. Why do you think it took me 6 times to get out of basic math in college? Why? Because I suck at college math. I suck at math, period, but I wasn't going to cheat to get through it.
Okay. So I took college algebra my freshman year. And they would give you, when you'd start the class, they'd give you the syllabus, a rundown of all your assignments and everything, and they wouldn't tell you anything.
Yeah.
So I would like go to the library in between classes, and when I had my algebra class, I would work on some of the problems. When I try to figure them out. I didn't do the whole assignment, but I figured, okay, I think I got the hang of it. And then I'd wait for my 3-week exam and my 6-week exam, and that's the way I went out as
There
far
you
as
go.
college
But you didn't
algebra.
cheat.
No, I didn't.
Good. See,
But there was a time where I didn't think I was going to pass freshman English semester 1.
Let me rephrase that, Billy, because this is a good point. Could you have cheated?
Probably.
There you go. But you didn't.
No, I
And
didn't.
to me, that is the underlying foundation for a person's integrity. When you can cheat and get away with it, but you don't, and you suffer, and you take that risk of failing or passing, to me, that's integrity.
But I had friends who were former military people, and they were going on the GI Bill.
Yeah.
And the only reason why they were going to school is to collect the money on the GI Bill.
Yeah.
And, man, they had a rough time in school, man. And those are the ones that were, you know, more susceptible to cheating.
Well,
than
because
the
they
other.
were doing it for
the money
Yeah.
instead of trying to,
Yeah, they were doing
get
it
an
for the
education
money.
and get better in life.
So getting back to the Jewish Israel thing, let's all remember, man, the Jews are God's chosen people. Whether you agree with that or not, it doesn't matter. They just are. How about the Cowboys, Billy? Noe, what about them Cowboys?
What happened, Billy? What's going on?
Are they going to have a quarterback after this coming season? That's the question.
Oh, of course. You can get any quarterback.
So you don't think Dak's going to get the big contract?
I hope not.
No.
I hope not.
I don't think
There
so.
was somebody.
He's
I
average.
was watching one of those sports talk shows the other day, and this guy made real sense. He goes, "Look at," because they were talking about the guy from Detroit, Jared Goff.
Yep,
Who
$212 million for 4
years.
Yeah, and
And
he's 30. What is he? 32? No, he's 29.
So he got drafted out of college to the Rams.
Yeah, took him to the Super Bowl.
Took him to the Super Bowl.
Didn't win, but he took him.
Right. Got traded to Detroit.
Took them to
Took
one
them
of the top playoffs.
NFC Championship game.
Yep.
He got the big contract.
Yeah, he
then
deserves it.
and then what has Dak done?
Our guy is average. You know, your average. If you can go 12 games in a season, or 16 games and win 12 of those games, that's 12-4. Man, you're pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
But when you choke and smoke and just wash away during the playoffs, that you just average out. So we have an average quarterback. He doesn't deserve the contract he did.
Well, he's getting $55 million this year,
Well, that's because Jerry.
It's his last year, right?
and it's his last year. And Jerry's not negotiating a new contract before the season starts, so
Nor should he.
Dak's gonna bet on himself. But here's a rumor I heard, and Bill Belichick will go coach the New York Giants after this coming season, and he's gonna get Dak to go to New York play with the Giants.
Good. Oh, thank you, Bill.
You think about that? Huh?
Get him out of here, man. Get Dak out. We need a winner. And you know, Tony Romo, statistically, and I'm doing those finger things. I think y'all call them air quotes. To me, they look like cockroaches. But statistically, Tony Romo is supposed to be the best quarterback that the Dallas Cowboys have ever had.
No.
Statistically, I'm talking about
Okay,
completions.
stats.
Yeah, stats.
Okay.
Yardage and receptions and all that shit. You know, he's on paper he is the best quarterback we've ever had. But what did he get? He never got a ring. He never took us to the Super Bowl.
Will always be known as that fumble against Seattle.
Oh my goodness, how embarrassing, boy! You
How
talk about
broken hearted were you when that happened?
That's horrible, man.
my eyes watered. I didn't cry, but my eyes watered because we were so close.
I actually felt really bad for him, man. Really bad for him that happened
Yeah,
to him.
that dejected look he had just sitting there on his ass on the 1 yard line,
of defeat.
looking at the grass. I'm thinking, man, ¿quién te manda?
All right, so the Cowboys schedule, they start out with the Cleveland Browns opening Sunday. That'll be Tom Brady's debut as a color analyst for Fox.
Yeah.
So that'd be Browns playing at home against the Cowboys. You gonna give them a W?
Yeah, I'll take the Cowboys.
Okay.
I'll take the Cowboys, sure.
So I'm looking at the
Because
schedule here.
Dak is superb during the regular season.
Yeah.
He can
Yeah.
go. He could go 16-0 and then choke in the playoffs like he always does.
He's not consistent at all.
Well, he's not. No, you're exactly right. But that only applies when he's on the big stage.
Yeah.
When he's on the massive stage, he just chokes. He's not a good clock manager. He throws too many interceptions. He just becomes less accurate, and I don't know why.
So the odds makers in Vegas have the Cowboys winning 10.5 games this year. What do you think?
I think so. I think they're going to win more. I think they're going to win probably
12, 13,
14 games.
Really?
14 games, but like I said, he's going to choke in the playoffs, so it's all going to be for naught.
Here's
all
gonna,
for naught.
Here's going to be a good game for real during the regular season. Week 11, Houston Texans, Monday Night Football on ESPN in Dallas.
Oh, nice. That'll be a good game. That'll
Yeah?
be a good game.
Well,
Yeah.
you got Garrett. Come on.
Cowboys.
And they always end the season.
You
They're-
should know better.
They always end the season with the Washington Commanders. It'll be week 18.
Nice. Well, I'm never, ever walking away from the Cowboys. They can go 0-16. I'll walk away from some of their players, but the Cowboys, they're my team. I grew up in Dallas.
Yeah.
So.
Live and die by the Cowboys, right, Garrett?
Absolutely.
Hey, so CeeDee Lamb, is he going to get a contract before the
CeeDee's
season?
nuts. What? Who said that?
Is he going to get a new contract?
CeeDee's nuts. Who said that? Yeah, I think he has to. Yeah, we need him. I think Jerry made a huge mistake by getting rid of
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
What a tragedy. Hey, politics, really quick. We got the
Really quick,
yeah.
on the Cowboys, that Houston and Cowboy games going to be really, really fun to watch.
It's going to be intense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Politics, Trump and Biden debating June 27th.
On CNN.
Yeah,
What do you think, huh?
Old Big Joe Biden put on his 10-gallon hat and his 6 shooters and his big old belt buckle. Come on, Donald, make my day. Make my day. Well, be careful what you ask there for, Sparky. We have run out of time, Billy.
Oh, have we?
Have we? Yes,
Well,
we
man,
have.
how
Yes,
time
I
flies
tell
when
you
you're
what.
having fun.
Hey,
Gary?
this is a blast, man. I'm going to tell you something, man. I'm going to tell you one more time, man. You want to say what you want to say, and you want to get it out there in the stratosphere. Open up your own podcast, man. It is so much fun. Time flies. We were shooting for 30. I think we're over 35 right now, but we're going to end it right there. Hopefully, we entertained you. Hopefully, you enjoyed it. And give us a shout on the email and let us know what you think. Billy will give you all that information right,
All right.
now.
We're at livinlargetheater@gmail.com. Send us your comments, good, bad, or indifferent. We appreciate it. Texas Sportsman, Fred Rodriguez, thank you for being a corporate sponsor. Also, we're available on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Prime, iHeart Podcast Network.
And don't forget Ward Thomas. And
Thank
Majestic.
you, Ward. All right. You keep living large because we're living large.